Alright, so we're back once again, and today I'll be explaining all of the classic Sonic Simulator level templates. Now, first off, we got Test Zone. Test Zone, definitely the best level template of all time. Just look how many chunks there are. We got Yellow Springs. We got those casino little things. I don't know what they're called, to be honest. I'll just call them springs, I guess. Got these arrows. We got these overlaying decoration. Lots of decoration. Even these kind of chunks. Got weird chunks as well. Conveyors, lava, even waterfalls. And most importantly, the path swapper routes. Now this level template also has a lot of objects. They got the wall, the breakable block, yet again another casino little bumper, breakable block, the pinball thingy, glass bumper, fireball, swingity thingy, platform, another platform, a little bridge, pushing thing, the crusher, a rock, I guess, and then those things that just just go up or down from the water, I guess. Anyways, as Dirt said, Test is absolutely the best. If you say Test is the worst, isn't the best template in the game, you are 100% wrong. And that's why Dirt said Test is the best. Anyways, next one we have is Green Hill. Green Hill. It's a bunch of different chunks here. It's a little bit hard to work with, I guess, but if you just put the time with it, yeah, it'll make a decent zone. But most Green Hills I've seen, they're really bad. Really bad. This is probably the second most updated zone besides Test Zone. It's got a lot of chunks as well too. Now, if we're talking objects, there isn't that many objects. Why is there a solid? This is called a solid wall, I guess. And then there's not a solid wall. What's the point of that, bro? Decoration? Who uses objects for Green Hill to decorate anymore? Let's just be honest. Got the breakable walls. We got the swingity thingity. Now the platform. This thing that goes up. I don't know why it doesn't have a little arrow. Bridge thing. Again, it's probably just decoration. We got the bridge. Priority. Then we got Palm Tree Planet Ghost platform. Now this is in my opinion, the best object. It can either be not a ghost or be a ghost platform, because you've never seen any object like this ever in CSS. And then we got the collapsing ledge, pretty classic, not gonna lie. Then the rock. Who cares about the rock, bro? What does it even do? Just exist? I guess it's put a spring beside it. Anyways, moving on to Marble Zone. Marble Zone. I think this zone, or this template, it needs a few more chunks. There's not enough, in my opinion. But maybe that's just taken from the actual level. No actual custom chunks like Green Hill has. They even got that little thing where you can go inside it. And then if we're talking objects, about the same as Green Hill. They got the block, the breakable block. They got a falling block and another falling block. I don't know why they should be separate. They should be its own object. Well, I think what they do is one of them falls slower and one of them falls faster. And we got the bobbing block. Again, it should be merged with these 3 blocks right here. And bobbing block, it just moves up and down, I guess. Like, what does it even do, bro? Platform, self-explanatory. And then the swingity thingity. I don't know why it doesn't have like a longer platform. And then this moving pillar. I don't even know what it does, bro. Breakable block. Firewall. We got fireball spawner. Now, funny thing is, this is called moves when stood on until it hits wall. But in older versions, it used to be like a very longer of its description. And then, I guess it's another moving block. Nothing to say much about Marble Zone. I still think it's a pretty good level template, though. Then next up, we got Spring Yard Zone. This level template is a Nothing Burger level template. Now, you never see any Spring Yard Zones anywhere on the level list. Or it's probably a version 9 zone when everybody didn't care about the level design or anything. But let's be honest, nobody makes Spring Yard Zones. Like, if you first started out, you probably didn't make a Spring Yard Zone. Or you probably did make a Spring Yard Zone, actually. I mean, just look how many lack of chunks there are, bro. I mean, at least they got that little tunnel in there. That's nice. But, you know, all of these, it's hard to connect. To really add more, to be honest. And the fact that there's only 4 objects this entire zone. Like, are we serious, bro? Alright, we got the block. It's got 3 pages at least. Back and forth, and then it's longer. Same thing, self-explanatory. And then those things that go up and down. You know. And then the stupid little bumper. Why does it even look like that? It's ugly. Nothing to say much about Spring Yard Zone. Again, it's a Nothing Burger zone. Who even makes Spring Yard Zones? Like, come on now. Labyrinth Zone. This zone, this level template also has a lot of potential if you execute it right. Again, there's not that much chunks. Now, I don't know what was the point of adding these chunks. I mean, they don't even do anything at all. I mean, I guess it can be like decoration or something, or you can use these spongy blocks to move you up from the water. I guess. And then the water, it doesn't work yet. One day, maybe the creator of the game will make it workable. It's probably not going to be workable at all for a while. Yeah. Again, nothing much to say here. Now, my favorite part about this zone is that it has these little fireball launchers. You know, it's very different than what you've seen from the normal game. From other level templates. You can even have one that spins at 0.5 seconds. That's like super fast. Then we got, again, just normal Nothing Burger block, I guess. And then this little platform. It's kind of like those test zone platforms. But it's like solid. And then of course, if you put it on the second page, it turns into submerged is what they call it. But instead, it just goes all the way up. And most people just put spikes on top of it if you're not careful enough. Then this little spear, self-explanatory. It just goes up and down. And then you can turn it around. And this box, self-explanatory again. It just goes down, I guess. Then SpongeBob, like I said, it's the same as the other one from Test Zone. It goes up and down depending on what the water level is. Nothing much to say about this one. Next up, we have Starlight Zone. Starlight Zone. You know, I'm not gonna lie, this would be much better if the collision wasn't messed up. Now wait, let me explain. Let me just put these things down real quick. And then hop on in the zone. See, I just stopped right there. You know how annoying that is for Starlight Zone? Like, come on, bro. I just wish that the collision was way better in Starlight Zone. Then it would obviously be way better than it usually is. Again, this zone probably needs more chunks, to be honest. I don't think some of these don't even connect with each other. Objects, they're I mean, they got this little platform right here. Settings staircase. Another firewall. Another fire shooter like in Test Zone. Basically same thing. Got the collapsing bridge. We got the pretty obscure object here. Is pretty swing. Then the classic breakable wall. No, nothing much to say. Starlight. If I would rate it, I would give it like C tier. Next up, Emerald Hill. Probably like the third best zone. Best level template in the game. You know, there's a bunch of chunks here. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't make no Emerald Hill levels because they're just too time consuming to make. I mean, I don't hate Emerald Hill or anything, but they just take too long to make because they're just so hard to navigate. I mean, just look at these chunks, dude. There's like so many different chunks. Also, by the way, if you haven't already, I know you already know this by now, but these things do not work at all. So people just put springs on there just to get a workaround from that. There's like a bunch of chunks here where like the other wall is solid. Here, if I turn this on, and that's like the collision type stuff. Yeah, kind of weird, isn't it? Then the objects. There's only 3 whopping objects. That's got to be the lowest amount of objects. But no, it isn't. You'll see later. Alright, next up, Mystic Cave Zone. Now, this used to be a level template in, what, version 7, version 8, actually? But it got quickly removed, and now that version of Mystic Cave is lost media. And not only is it lost media, but it got removed from every, like, 100% removed. But it came back in this update, at least. There's a lot of things we can work with here. It's probably recycled from version 8, though. Well, some of these chunks. Again, this is like similar to Emerald Hill Zone. You know, you just gotta... It's so time consuming to make, but this one's like worse in time consuming. There's like so many different chunks, even on the roof. Now, this is when this button comes in handy, which is probably why they even added it. Got like those blue spots. No. The ones that aren't blue, that means if you touch it, it's gonna be not solid. That's pretty easy to understand. I just don't know why they have so many different chunks that go inside the floor. Like, this zone is just a mess to make sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But if you execute it correctly, then I'd say that's a pretty good zone. Again, with objects, again, your typical block, those little side spike thingies that go left, I guess. I think you can turn them around. Then those crusher things, self-explanatory. Another spike ball. Pretty peak, isn't it? Then those collapsing bridge, I guess. Then these little moving platforms. And then the classic little crates. And then those platforms, but they have a little thing on there. What I like about these platforms is that they actually make a noise. Take a listen. Look at that. That is some peak noise right there. See, you don't even have to edit in a sound for that. That's actual noise in the game. And then this vine you pick up, again, self-explanatory, could go up and down. But if you try to do the Y facing, it's gonna break the whole thing. Hold on. I don't know if I got patched or not, but let's find out. See, it's nowhere to be seen, even though it's supposed to be. Yeah, whatever you do, do not set it Y facing -1, or else it's gonna go completely wrong. Anyways, nothing much to say about Mystic Cave. You know, it's got a lot of potential, but you must work with it if you're good enough. Next up, Old Test Zone. You cannot get this zone. If you played classic Sonic Simulator during version 9 or below, you can obtain this zone. It's still a test zone, but it's an older version of it that got left in the dust in version 10. And that's the test we all love today. We all know and love. Anyways, as you see, these chunks here are way different. These little pillars right there, they don't even exist. There's even yellow chunk, the green chunk, and the pink chunk. Now the pink chunk's kind of unique because they don't overlay objects. Here, I'll put these objects on the green chunk, and then I'll put it on the pink chunk. And the pink chunk won't overlay the objects, but the green one will, because it's not the pink chunk. See, as you see, I just put objects under the green chunk, but when I put it on the pink chunk, it didn't overlay at all. So you probably want to use the pink chunk if you want to decorate just a little bit. It's probably very unlikely though. Now, understand why they got rid of these chunks. I mean, what even is this? This is a ramp that goes up to 1 block. This is like a waste of chunks. Like, are we serious, bro? Anyways, this chunk is kind of weird, to be honest. Especially this diamond looking shape. I really wish they brought these back though. These are actually kind of good chunks. I wish they brought this back too, because you don't have to place down objects. Then you can just use these chunks. And these chunks, they need to bring back. Like, come on now. Now I know this one and this one exists, but not these two right here. Then again, we have the little classic little spear thingies. And look at these decoration chunks. But it's so beautiful, man. And now there's only like 2 of them today. Or like 4. Because if you didn't know, in version 12, the chunks actually used to be different. But just the decoration chunks. They replaced them for like these type of things, I guess. Now these two chunks right here, they used to be in version 12, if I can remember correctly. But they're like a little bit different, I guess. Now this chunk, it did not exist. Now the difference with this chunk right here is that you know, a new test zone on this template, it looks like this. But then when I go old test zone, it looks like that. But when I go in the new test zone, it looks like that. That looks diabolical, man. I mean, what did they do to the pillars, bro? They should bring back the pillars in the VR skin, bro. Anyways, old test zone. I'd say it's pretty solid, but you know, it's not that good of a level template. I don't know why people want this back. I mean, there's not really much to work with here, but the objects are pretty interesting. Now the bumper, it's actually a CD bumper instead of a S2 bumper, and it even has the sound effect, the CD bumper. Then, you know, we got that little bridge here. It's actually a little bit different because it doesn't extend like that. And then, now this is completely new. This is conveyor. It doesn't tell you which way it goes, but this way is right, and then X facing -1 is left. Then these platforms, they're a little bit different. They're supposed to have an arrow beside it, but since this is an old like version of Test, it doesn't have no arrows. It just does that, I guess. Then the classic block, self-explanatory. Then this breakable wall. I understand why they changed the sprites of these. I mean, it looks kind of ugly, I guess. Yeah, that looks rough. Also, I forgot to tell everybody, but the sprites of old Test Zone, they're like a little bit different than new Test Zone, if you didn't notice. New Test Zone has like a darker shade, but old Test Zone, it does not. Then we got these ones. These little stair things. They're instead of green, they're just pink, I guess. They only have 2 variations though. That's a shame. Just that and that. Then we surprisingly have a little bumper over here. Little, I guess they call it the flipper. Whatever, bro. Then last but not least, we got Metropolis Zone. This is like way different than everything else. Now, Metropolis, it's a buggy mess. You probably don't want to have Metropolis Zone unless you're really desperate. But that's my opinion. I've seen other people make Metropolis Zones. They're actually pretty decent. I mean, Collision's kind of rough though. Also, if you try to use this button right here, it doesn't even show the blue things because of how outdated this zone is. Same with old Test Zone, by the way. Also, these screws, they don't work because, you know, in older versions of the game, none of these gimmicks even worked. And that little door thing, of course, didn't work. I mean, come on now. And Metropolis Zone is the only zone template in the game that has 0 objects. 0 unique objects, I guess you would say. But yeah, I guess there's nothing good to work with in this zone. But this Metropolis Zone actually has its own lava chunks. They work too. Anyways, nothing really much to say here. Also, these conveyors, even though they got working conveyors in old Test Zone, they don't work here. I don't understand why. But it is what it is, bro. I mean, if you think about it, maybe last time Metropolis was updated was like version 8. No, it's probably version 9. I think I heard somebody say it was even worse back then. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Anyways, that's all I got. There's only 10 zone templates in the game. That was the last one. So yeah, that's the end of the video. That'll do it for me. Anyways, like Dirt said, Tess is the absolute best, the goated level template of the game. I mean, it's got everything. Like 90% of the essentials you need for a classic Sonic Simulator's level. But yeah, I don't understand why people think Tess is worse. I mean, Tess is obviously better. I mean, that's no argument. Anyways, that'll do it for me. Bye.